Terrence Frederick Malick is an American film director, screenwriter, and producer. In a career spanning over 4 decades, he has directed 6 feature films. He made his directorial debut with the drama Badlands in 1973. Malick released his second film, Days of Heaven, in 1978, after which he took a long hiatus from directing films. His third film, the World War II drama The Thin Red Line, was released in 1998. 7 years later he released his fourth film, The New World, which was followed by the critically acclaimed in 2011 Palme d'Or winner The Tree of Life. The following year saw the release of the sixth film directed by Malick, To the Wonder. Malick has received consistent praise for his work and has been regarded as one of the greatest living filmmakers. He was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Director for The Thin Red Line and The Tree of Life, and the Academy Award for Best Adapted Screenplay for The Thin Red Line, as well as winning the Golden Bear at the 49th Berlin International Film Festival for The Thin Red Line, the Palme d'Or at the 64th Cannes Film Festival for The Tree of Life, and the SIGNIS Award at the 69th Venice International Film Festival for To the Wonder. Early life: Terrence Malick was born in Ottawa, Illinois and raised in Waco, Texas and Oklahoma. He is the son of Irene and ๊mēɪk, a geologist. His paternal grandparents were Assyrian Christian immigrants. Malick attended St. Stephen's Episcopal School in Austin, Texas, while his family lived in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. Malick had 2 younger brothers, Chris and Larry. Larry Malick was a guitarist who went to study in Spain with Andra Copyright Segovia in the late 1960s. In 1968, Larry intentionally broke his own hands due to pressure over his musical studies. Emil went to Spain to help Larry, but Larry died shortly after, apparently committing suicide. Malick studied philosophy under Stanley Cavell at Harvard University, graduating summa cum laude in Phi Beta Kappa in 1965. He went on to Magdalen College, Oxford, as a Rhodes Scholar. After a disagreement with his tutor, Gilbert Ryle, over his thesis on the concept of world and Kierkegaard, Heidegger, and Wittgenstein, Malick left Oxford without a doctorate. In 1969, Northwestern University Press published Malick's translation of Heidegger's Vom Wesen des Grundes as The Essence of Reasons. Returning to the United States, Malick taught philosophy at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology while freelancing as a journalist. He wrote articles for Newsweek, The New Yorker, and Life. Film career: Malick started his film career after earning an MFA from the AFI Conservatory in 1969, directing the short film Lantern Mills. At the AFI, he established contacts with people such as Jack Nicholson, longtime collaborator Jack Fisk, and agent Mike Medavoy, who procured for Malick freelance work revising scripts. He is credited with a screenplay for Pocket Money, and he wrote an early draft of Dirty Harry. After one of his screenplays, Deadhead Miles, was made into what Paramount Pictures felt to be an unreleasable film, Malick decided to direct his own scripts. His first work was Badlands, an independent film starring Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek as a young couple on a crime spree in the 1950s. After a troubled production, Badlands drew raves at its premiere at the New York Film Festival, leading to Warner Bros. Pictures buying distribution rights for 3 times its budget. Paramount Pictures produced Malick's second film, Days of Heaven, about a love triangle that develops in the farm country of the Texas Panhandle in the early 20th century. The film spent 2 years in post-production, during which Malick and his crew experimented with unconventional editing and voiceover techniques. Days of Heaven went on to win the Academy Award for Best Cinematography, as well as the prize for Best Director at the 1979 Cannes Film Festival. Following the release of Days of Heaven, Malick began developing a project for Paramount, titled Q, that explored the origins of life on Earth. During pre-production, he suddenly moved to Paris and disappeared from public view. During this time, he wrote a number of screenplays, including The English Speaker, about Joseph Breyer's analysis of Anna O. Adaptations of Walker Percy's The Moviegoer and Larry McMurtry's The Desert Rose. A script about Jerry Lee Lewis. And a stage adaptation of Sancho the Bailiff that was to be directed by Anne Zedgewater, in addition to continuing work on the Q script. Malick's work on Q eventually became the basis for his 2011 film The Tree of Life. 20 years after Days of Heaven, Malick returned to film directing in 1998 with A Thin Red Line, a loose adaptation of the James Jones World War II novel of the same name, for which he gathered a large ensemble of famous stars. The film was nominated for 7 Academy Awards, won the Golden Bear at the 49th Berlin International Film Festival, and received critical acclaim. After learning of Malick's work on an article about Che Guevara during the 1960s, Steven Soderbergh offered Malick the chance to write and direct a film about Guevara that he had been developing with Benicio del Toro. Malick accepted and produced a screenplay focused on Guevara's failed revolution in Bolivia. After a year and a half, the financing had not come together entirely, and Malick was given the opportunity to direct The New World, a script he had begun developing in the 1970s. Consequently, he left the Guevara project in March 2004. Soderbergh went on to direct Che. The New World, which featured a romantic interpretation of the story of John Smith and Pocahontas, was released in 2005. Over 1 million feet of film was shot for the film, and 3 different cuts of varying length were released. It was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Cinematography, but received generally mixed reviews during its theatrical run, though it has since been hailed as one of the best films of the decade. Malick's 5th feature, The Tree of Life, was filmed in Smithville, Texas, and elsewhere during 2008. Starring Brad Pitt, Jessica Chastain, and Sean Penn, it is a family drama spanning multiple time periods and focuses on an individual's reconciling love, mercy and beauty with the existence of sickness, suffering and death. It premiered at the 2011 Cannes Film Festival where it won the Palme d'Or. It also won the FIPRESSI Award for the Best Film of the Year. At the 84th Academy Awards, it was nominated for 3 awards including the Academy Award for Best Picture, Best Director for Malick, and Best Cinematography for Emmanuel Lubezki. A limited theatrical release in the United States began on May 27, 2011. Malick's 6th feature, titled To the Wonder, was shot predominantly in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and a few scenes were filmed in Pawaska, Oklahoma. A film premiered at the 69th Venice International Film Festival. It is described in the program notes as an exploration of love in its many forms. The film stars Ben Affleck, Rachel McAdams, Olga Kurylenko, and Javier Bardem. On November 1, 2011, Film Nation Entertainment announced international sales for Malick's next 2 projects, Lawless and Knight of Cups. Lawless will star Ryan Gosling, with a supporting cast including Christian Bale, Kate Blanchett, Rooney Mara and Haley Bennett. Knight of Cups will star Bale, and will also feature Blanchett, along with Isabel Lucas. The films will be shot back-to-back in 2012. Production designer Jack Fisk has indicated a June start date. During the weekend of September 16, 2011, Malick was photographed and caught on film while on set for one of the first times ever, while he and a small crew were following Christian Bale and Haley Bennett around the Austin City Limits Music Festival as part of preliminary shooting for Lawless. He was also seen directing Ryan Gosling and Rooney Mara at the Fun Fest on the weekend on November 4, 2011. In early 2012, the title Lawless was given to the Weinstein Company's The Wettest County, leaving Malick's Lawless untitled. He was invited to join the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in June 2012 along with 175 other individuals. Personal life: Malick is famously protective of his private life. His contracts stipulate that his likeness may not be used for promotional purposes, and he routinely declines requests for interviews. From 1970 to 1976, Malick was married to Jill Jakes. His companion afterward in the late 1970s was director and screenwriter Michi Gleason. In 1985 he married a French woman, Michaela Marie Moret, whom he met in Paris in 1980. In 1996, Malick asked for a divorce, which was granted. Afterward he married Alexandra Eckie Wallace, the best friend of his high school sweetheart. As of at least 2011, Malick resides in Austin, Texas. Filmography, awards and nominations. Bibliography, Malick, Terrence. Days of Heaven, registered with the Writers Guild of America, April 14, 1976. Revised June 2, 1976. Notes. References, Biskind, Peter. Easy Riders, Raging Bulls, London, Bloomsbury, 1998. Biskind, Peter. The Runaway Genius, Vanity Fair, 460, December 1998, 116 €, 125. Cavil, Stanley. The World Viewed, Reflections on the Ontology of Film, Enlarged Edition, Cambridge, Massachusetts, Harvard University Press, 1979. Chen, Michelle. The Voice in Cinema, translated by Claudia Goldman, New York and Chichester, Columbia University Press, 1999. Simont, Michelle. Entretien avec Terrence Malick, Positif, 170, June 1975, 30 € 34. Cook, G. Richardson. The Filming of Badlands, An Interview with Terry Malick, Filmmakers Newsletter, 7/8, June 1974, 30 € 32. Crofts, Charlotte. From the Hegemony of the Eye to the Hierarchy of Perception, the Reconfiguration of Sound and Image in Terrence Malick's Days of Heaven, Journal of Media Practice, 2 2001, 19 € 29. Denson, G. Roger. Terrence Malick's The Tree of Life Plays Garden of Eden to the Family of Man, Huffington Post, June 6, 2011. Doherty, Cameron. Maverick Back from the Badlands, The Sunday Times, Culture, June 7, 1998, 4. Donegal, Martin. West of Eden, Terrence Malick's Days of Heaven, Postscript, Essays in Film and the Humanities, 5/1, Full 1985, 17 € 30. Ebert, Roger. Review of Days of Heaven, Chicago Sun-Times Incorporated. Fox, Terry Curtis. The Last Ray of Light, Film Comment, 14/5, September-October 1978, 27 € 28. Fuller, Graham. Exile on Main Street, The Observer, December 13, 1998, 5. Harrell, John. Badlands Director Ending His Long Absence, Seattle Times, March 8, 1998. Henderson, Brian. Exploring Badlands. Wide Angle, A Quarterly Journal of Film Theory, Criticism and Practice, 5/4, 1983, 38 € 51. Keyser, Les. Hollywood in the 70s, London, Tantivy Press, 1981. Mayer J.R., Paul. One Big Soul, An Oral History of Terrence Malick. Upstart Crow Publishing. ISBN 978-1-304-59527-0. Monaco, James. Badlands, Take 1, 4/1, September-October 1972, 32. Malick Interview, American Film Institute Report, 4/4, Winter 1973, 48. Newman, Kim. Whatever Happened to What's His Name? Empire, February 1994, 88 € 89. Riley, Brooks. Interview with Nestor Amdros, Film Comment, 14/5, September-October 1978, 28 € 31. Delott, J.P. Badlands and the Souvenir Drive, Western Humanities Review, 42, Summer 1986, 101 € 14. Walker, Beverly. Malick on Badlands, Sight and Sound, 44-2, Spring 1975, 82 € 3. Wanderer, Janet. A Gaze Unbecoming, Schooling the Child for Femininity in Days of Heaven, Wide Angle, 16/4, October 1994, 5 € 22. External links, Terrence Malick at the Internet Movie Database, Terrence Malick at AllMovie, Works by or about Terrence Malick in libraries, The Films of Terrence Malick, Movie Clip Compilation, 3 minutes. Dossier about Terrence Malick, La Furia Humana, Now Degree 10 texts, English, Spanish, French, Italian by Joe Malhaney, Alain Bergala, Carlos Losilla, Jean Christophe Ferrari, Alessandra Capabianca, and others. Edited by Tony D'Angela.